In this chapter, we will see how data can be saved to an offline media and also how the data can be restored back to the AS400 system. Since the tapes are the most common storage media being used currently, we will study tape devices in detail. We will also look at the concept of the save file. A number of commands are available for performing save and restore functions. Whenever an object is saved, OS400 updates the save information both in the description of the object on the disk as well as in the copy on the save media. Whenever an object is restored, the restore information is updated in the description of the object on the disk. We will now look at the two devices that are commonly used to save data offline, that is, tapes and save files. Tapes are used for the following purposes: for distributing of system software, for copying and saving information from the system, for exchanging data between different systems. Tapes can be labeled or non-labeled. Here, the term labeled refers to the internal tape label and not the label that appears on the outside of the tape box. A non-labeled tape is normally used to exchange data with systems that do not support standard labeled tapes and is otherwise best avoided. A non-labeled tape makes use of tape marks to indicate the beginning and end of each tape as well as the beginning and end of each data file. Non-labeled tapes do not contain any volume label or data file label information. Labeled tapes contain information that identifies the tape volume as well as the data files written to it. On the AS400, all tapes that are used for save-restore operation have to have the standard labels. Let us now look at save files. A save file is a special type of file that is created on the disk and can be used like an offline media. Anything that can be saved to an offline media can also be saved to the save file. The main use of the save file is in reducing the amount of time that is taken to save data. The amount of time required to save a file is much less than the time required to save the same data to an offline media. The contents of the save file can then be saved to the offline media at a convenient time. We can use any of the save commands to save objects or libraries to the save file. We shall now see how to work with tape. We can use the Go Tape command to display the tape menu. Option 1 is used to display the information on a tape. Selecting this option will prompt us for the display tape command. On the device parameter, we enter the name of the tape device where the tape is loaded. The default value of star labels on the data type parameter is used to view the volume label and data file labels. At the top of the display, you have information about the tape volume. The body of the display contains information regarding the first file on the tape. You can scroll down to see more information about this file. When you press the Enter key, the system will locate and display the information about the next file on the tape. To display the names of the system objects that had been saved to the tape, we have to specify the value of star save restore. Here, in addition to the tape volume and tape file information, the information about the system objects contained within the file is also displayed. Option 2 on the tape menu is used to initialize or prepare a tape so that it can be used to store information. All tapes have to be initialized before data can be recorded on the tape. Initialization causes all previously recorded information to be erased. Option 2 displays the Initialize Tape menu. On the new volume identifier parameter, the default value of *none will cause the tape to be initialized as non-labeled. If we specify a volume name for the tape, it will be initialized as a standard labeled tape. On the Check for Active Files parameter, we can specify *yes to check for active files or *first to check for the first active file on the tape. If an active file is found, the tape will not be initialized. If we specify *no for this parameter, the tape will be initialized irrespective of whether there are active files or not on the tape. The tape density parameter determines the amount of data that can be stored per inch on the tape and is dependent on the particular tape we used. Option 3 can be used to dump the label information and data blocks from the tape to a spooled file. Option 4 will take us to the Save menu, and Option 5 displays the Restore menu. We will look at both of these options in a little while. Option 6 displays the Work with Configuration Status display that shows status information about the tape device. Option 7 displays the prompt for the Verify Tape command, from where the tape unit operations for all tape units can be verified. Let us move on to saving data to the tape. We can use the Go Save command to display the Save menu. The Save menu consists of a series of 3 displays with various save options. Some of these options, such as 21 to save the entire system, requires that the system is in a restricted state before the option is run. We can save files, libraries, programs and other objects, only the changed objects, documents and folders related to Office data, a library or a group of libraries, all libraries other than the system library, the entire system, storage, configuration, all user data, all security data. Each of these options prompts for a corresponding command. Let us look at some of them. The Save System command saves the system library, all security information, all configuration objects, as well as the licensed internal code. The data is saved in the same format as required for the install process. We cannot save individual objects from these tapes. The Save Library command can be used to save one or more libraries along with the associated objects in these libraries. When a save file is used, only one library can be specified. Using this command, we can also save all libraries other than the QSYS library, all libraries that contain user data, all IBM libraries other than QSYS. The Save Document Library objects can be used to save documents or folders from the QDOC library. The Save Object command can be used to save one or more objects. We can also generate names to specify a group of objects. The Save command is used with Integrated File System. All objects on the system can be saved with this Save command, but the format differs from the Save System command and cannot be used in the install process. The Save Changed Object command can be used to save only those objects that have changed since the last time a library was saved. Alternatively, we can also specify the date and time. The save file data command is used to save the data from a save file onto the tape. The save security data command can be used to save user profiles, authorization lists, and authority holders. The save configuration allows us to save configuration data whenever changes are made to the configuration status. The save storage command is used to make a copy of the entire disk onto the tape. This tape can only be used to install the entire system, and individual objects or libraries cannot be restored. Some of the information on AS400 cannot be saved except with the save storage command. These are contents of the various queues such as job queues and message queues, objects that are damaged, objects that are being used currently, unless yes is specified for the save active parameter on the save command, spooled files. When an object is saved, the following information is also saved along with the object: the object name, object type, the save date and time, the owner name, amount of storage required, security information, description of the objects. When an object is saved, the date and time of the save operation is recorded both in the description of the object on the system itself as well as in the copy of the object on the offline storage. When saving an object, we can use the storage parameter to free some of the storage space used by the object. If we specify a value of *free, the system removes the contents of the object and retains only the object description. We can perform such operations as moving or renaming the object, but the object can be used only after it is restored. Let us see how to work with save files. First of all, we use the create save file command to create a save file. If a save file already exists, we can use the clear save file command to clear the save file before using it. We can use any of the save commands to save objects and libraries to the save file. For example, the save library command can be used to save the contents of a library. On the device parameter, we specify *save file. To display the contents of the save file, we have the display save file command. To save file data command can be used to save the contents of the save file to the tape. Let us now move on to restoring data back to the disk. We can use the go restore command to access the restore menu. Option 21 can be used to restore everything on the system except QSys library. The QSys library can only be restored through the install process. We have a restore command corresponding to each of the save commands that we saw earlier. For example, we have the restore library, restore document library object, restore object, restore user profile, restore authority, restore configuration objects. Summary. In this chapter, we looked at tapes and save files. We saw how to work with tapes and also how to save data onto the tapes. We also looked at how data can be restored back to the tapes. Finally, we also saw how to work with save files.